So this is my room for the night. It's a lot more cozy than I thought it would be. So, really cute. This is my first impression, by the way, so you guys are seeing it in real time right now. This is the key. It took a while to get in, but hopefully it's alright. I'll just put my bag here and backpack here. Yay, I'm so keen. Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. Of course, I have to show you guys my fit for the day. Oh, the mask always falls off like that. So this is just my jacket. It's actually getting pretty hot, but I know it's gonna rain later, so I brought this for nighttime. And then this is what I have. So I literally just am wearing like a nice grey singlet and then some jeans with my superstars. So yeah, TV turned on for me and everything. I am so excited. I didn't expect to be checked in this early, so I was going to show you guys the hotel at 2 p.m, which is the official check-in time, but I went to visit the hotel just to drop off a bag anyway, and the lady was like, oh, your room's actually ready. So this is shower here, bathroom. Honestly, bigger than I thought it would be. I was expecting something smaller. I'm so excited. Okay, let's go to brunch. Hi, how are you? I was just wondering if I could get toothbrush and toothpaste if you have any available. Yeah, and toothpaste, please. Oh, just one set, yeah. Thank you so much. Bye. So the toothbrush guy just came, which is, like, he was nice, but something I've noticed is that a lot of guys have been staring at my boobs today, and usually I'd be out with my friend or my partner, so I wouldn't notice this kind of thing unless I was dressed up a lot with a bunch of girls. But yeah, I feel like it's happened too many times for it to be in my imagination or to be paranoia. I feel like men really are just always looking at cleavage. I don't have any cleavage, so yeah, it's kind of sad. Hey, this is something that I've been planning for a very long time. I always wanted this section of my day to be dedicated to explaining to you guys why I decided to take this solo trip. A lot of people would consider this a staycation, and an element of it is that, but for the most part I'm trying to push myself to do new things, and a lot of the people who I've explained this idea to in real life already have expressed a little bit of judgment and misunderstanding. I don't really see this fully as a holiday. For me, it's something that I've been very anxious about, and something that I honestly just wanted to force myself to do. I had really bad sleep last night. I barely ever wake up in the middle of the night, and I did last night, I think primarily due to my anxiety about today. So please don't think of this as, oh, you're just treating yourself, or this is such an extra way to do self-care. Really, that is a part of it for sure, because why would I do it if it was bad? But it's not the main part. So I wanted to do this little sit down part. I've just written down a few points. So my first one is for independence. Before I met my partner, I was always very dependent on my mum, and now that I have my partner, I'm very dependent on him, and I'm still depending on both of them a lot. And I would say probably even more than the average person my age. So everyone grows up differently, and I personally don't judge people for not reaching a certain life stage by a certain time. That's not my problem. For example, I know people who are 27 and they don't ever want to learn how to drive. I know people who got their license straight away when they were 16. So that's just one little example. I guess I'm in the middle because I finally passed my P's test yesterday. I've never been the kind of person to do that. I don't really care if you marry young or old. I don't care if you have 3 siblings or you're an only child. I just believe that everyone's living their own kind of journey, and people should just judge less. So that's my first reason. I want to feel like I'm really doing something on my own. And again, I know that to a lot of people this just sounds like a very relaxing trip. I think I've spent all day kind of being quite tense, even though I have had a bit of fun. This trip was originally meant to be in Melbourne for a few days, but instead of spending time alone, I would have met up with online friends that I have. So it was a half solo, half meeting people and exploring trip. But because of COVID, and because I honestly just don't really feel ready to go interstate by myself like that either, I just thought, why not start small and do an overnight here. The second is for introversion. It's not that I don't like being an extrovert, but I've said on this channel before, I think, or maybe on my Instagram, that being an extrovert gets you into trouble because people think you're very confident, loud, outspoken, and you can get misinterpreted a lot. And yeah, it's something that I've had to endure for pretty much all my life. And I know that extroverts are more likely than introverts to just say what they're thinking without thinking about it first. And that's something that I do struggle with sometimes, I think. But yeah, I wanted to be alone. I didn't want to be. I'm forcing myself to be alone and to get myself out there and push myself to do things by myself. And today's been hard. I went to eat, I watched a movie, and I shopped, and I checked into my hotel, and it's hard. What I wanted, which was to really learn things about myself today, I feel like it's happening, even though we're only about midway through the trip. The third is for general exploration and fun. There are so many things that I want to do and visit and tick off my bucket list, and because this is my first time doing this freaky new thing on my own, I decided to keep it very simple and do things that I have always done since I was a teenager with friends. So this is pretty much everything that I usually do with my friends, but I'm doing it by myself. The one thing that I already have done by myself is shop, but I don't think I've shopped by myself in Pitt Street before. So it's been an experience so far. I think this kind of thing to introverts probably sounds like heaven, but yeah, being coupled with dependency and extroversion and doing this is a big milestone for me. The last point that I wrote down is observation. There's a lot of things that I've already observed so far. I have noticed more things, like how happy this guy was waiting for his friend at a table, and when he spotted his friend he was just like so happy, and it was like this elderly guy, and I thought it was so sweet. It's the kind of moment you want to capture. And watching a movie on my own, I watched the new Disney Pixar, I think, called Encanto, and it was good. It was really cute, like it made me tear up. It was nice. And even though I was surrounded by couples, families and friends, it was still a really nice movie, and I'd say I'd rate it like an 8 out of 10. I get full really easily, which I already knew, but I thought I could push myself and I just can't, because I would almost rather be hungry than full. I just don't like the feeling of it. So there was that. And I also realized that the things that strangers say or do to me makes more of an impact on me when I'm alone. Like the random creepy men who would try and come up to me today, or there was this lady in the shop that I tried on a dress in, and the dress was a bit too tight just because I was so bloated from trying to force myself to finish lunch alone. And so I said to her, when I handed it back to her, the dress was actually cute, but I just feel like I'm too bloated to really like know my sizing right now. And she and her co-worker were judging me really hard, and they were saying, you're so tiny and you're not bloated at all, I don't know what you're talking about. And I just felt like, yes, I am very naturally skinny, and it's obviously a blessing to an extent because I'm still underweight, but I just feel like they didn't need to judge me like that. And that's the kind of thing that I would have laughed off and not even thought about for the rest of the day if I was with someone else. But because I wasn't, and I was alone, I was stuck with those like words echoing in my head. So I guess people are a distraction sometimes. And then when I was shopping, I couldn't really find anything I wanted, and it was a time of the day when the rainy weather was really getting to my mood, and I just felt a little bit down and very lonely. I actually spent a lot of time in the bathroom today because I just had so much time to kill. And it's interesting. I was very tempted to even call or message my partner, who actually works in a building connected to Pitt Street Mall where I was shopping, and I was so tempted to ask him to just come and see me, even though I had agreed with myself and with him that I wasn't going to meet anyone. And I almost did it because I was just feeling so lonely, and so not like, why did I do this? I'm not a very regretful person, but more like I'm just so tempted to just meet him right now, because honestly, if I had to have a staycation, it would be with him. He's my best friend, so yeah, it's something that I would like to do with him in the future. But I couldn't. This was a solo trip for me, so yeah. It's been interesting so far, but now I'm gonna get ready for dinner, which I'm gonna wing. I was going to go to a French high-class place in George Street, but I thought, I've already been in George Street all day, why not explore the Barangaroo Darling Harbour restaurants? And it's also bright there. Not that it isn't in other parts of the city, but it's got a lot of people there, and a part of why I was anxious about today was because of just my general safety as a woman and at night. So we're gonna have a look at that. I'm gonna try not to go somewhere I've been before because I do frequent these areas quite often. I'm gonna come back here, maybe try watching the TV, which I barely ever do, and shower and call my friends because they all want to see what the hotel looks like. Yeah, I'm hoping it's alright. Okay. Bye, Daddy. Daddy. Thanks. Bye. So I just got back from dinner. I didn't film it much. I'm still feeling kind of the side effects of eating solo, especially because I went to an Indian place and so it was very much communal. I could see a bunch of families and workplaces having dinner together, so I was on this rounded table meant for 4 people, and there were these 3 seats around me and they took away their cutlery and crockery, and I was just sitting there alone for about a couple hours. And when I first came in, no one was tending to me, and I think the service might be a bit slow, maybe they're low on staff, but I walked up to the bar and I was like, hey, do you have space for 1 person? And she was like, oh, like just 1 person? And I swear another time I also saw a kitchen hand person laughing at me. So I don't know if I'm just seeing things. Again, I could be paranoid just like I am with a lot of other things in life, but yeah. I feel like people judge too much about eating solo. That is something that I have done before today, and I don't find it a big deal if I see someone doing it. Like, I guess if you are going to a bit of a better place, like a very dinner celebratory place in the city, it does make sense that you would get a few like maybe concerned glances, but laughing, I was like, anyway. So that was just me on a video call with my dad. I basically came back to the hotel room and peed. And actually before that, I decided to walk off my food and go to Darling Harbour. There was some really nice busking going on, some finger guitar playing, and the crowds were starting to get a little bit Friday night rowdy, so I just didn't really want to be out too late, even though if it was first of all warmer because it was so freezing and windy, and if it was second of all, maybe I can't complain because I like the crowds, just because I want a bunch of people. I wouldn't want it to be quiet, but then at the same time, it's Friday, so people are rowdy, so maybe I would have preferred it to be a Sunday night or something. But I bumped into someone, so I knew I was going to see at least 1 person I knew today, and it was a person I went to school with. I don't know if she watches my channel because I know she does follow my spam account, but if you're watching this, Lily, it was nice to see you and meet your partner, and you looked great. But yeah, so she was the first like proper interaction with someone I knew I had, with someone I knew that I had today. And then I came back here, peed, called my dad, and now I'm talking to you guys. So I plan to shower, and then do a mixture of things, probably like make reels. I just took like 1 video that I want to post, and also check out the TV because I never watch TV. And I want to be asleep by 1 AM, which should be fine because it's literally like 9:30 right now. It's so early. And I did bring a book, but I decided to go minimal with packing just because it was 1 night and I usually overpack, so I wanted to underpack, and so I don't have my laptop or anything. And now I kind of wish I did, just for the sake of YouTube, but we'll make do with what we have. I've turned on the little night lights on the sides of my bed so it's a bit brighter, and I've put down the window curtain thing for when I get changed. And yeah, it's nice and bright in here, it's cozy. I didn't say before, I think, but this hotel has exceeded my expectations, so I'm really happy with it. Hey, sorry for the different quality. I'm on my phone now because my camera died. Usually when that happens, I just switch to doing phone kind of content, so more photos and videos and whatever I just want to do instead of like properly continuing the vlog. But I thought that this one might be a bit random if I just ended on my spiel and didn't show you guys what I did tonight and tomorrow. So especially for people who might want to do the same thing as me in the future and take themselves on a holiday, because I feel like it's not very normalized. I just showered. I had such a warm shower. I could feel all of my pores opened, and I just did my skincare and brushed my teeth. And I'm hoping that I don't get hungry. I'm still full from dinner, but something that I should have done is brought snacks. I forgot that I'm very much a snacker, so yeah, I should have thought about that before. I am going to just chill. The first thing I'm going to do is answer messages. I have a bunch of voice ones especially to reply to. See where the night takes me. Something that I was reflecting on as I was like getting changed just then was, I'm very grateful that my parents actually weren't judgmental about this idea of mine. So I just got off the phone with my dad, and he was like, oh, that's cool, like this is, yeah, being alone like helps you reflect and helps you just think about things you normally wouldn't think about. And my mum was pretty encouraging, as you saw at the start of the video. She really wanted to say a physical bye to me. I was like, Mum, it's one night. She was kind of joking, but she was like, hope you come back a very mature young lady. So yeah, both of them have been pretty on board with the idea, which I'm kind of like surprised about. But then again, both my parents are also in many ways like not very traditional. So I guess they're a bit more open to it. Like, I think even my uncle, who's pretty traditional, was more accepting about me doing this than I thought he would be. I thought that he would be more like, oh, why are you wasting money like this? But yeah, so I'm grateful that, I guess, my family has seemed to take this idea on board and think that it's a good idea. And in the end, it is my money, so I'm spending it how I want, and my time too. It's not like I'm not an adult, but yeah, nice to have that affirmation from them. So I'm gonna get to answering messages. The only bad thing about me using my phone now is that I can't also film myself, like do montages, but I'm sure you guys are good with that. Hello, it's been about an hour, I'd say. I finished replying to the messages, and I video called my mum and partner, and I also am going to be meeting someone on Sunday. She's an online friend who's visiting from overseas, so she told me that she wouldn't mind if I brought some friends along. And she's a model, so I thought, why not invite some of my online model friends who I've always wanted to meet. So I just did that too. And now I'm gonna see what's on the TV. Seeing this is literally making me realize that I know nothing about TV. Like, how does a TV actually work? I'm so confused. What is this? I found a Friends episode, but then it's an episode I've seen before, so I'm sad. Good morning. So according to my sleep app, this is like the best sleep that I've had in a very long time, so I'm super happy. I still feel really tired, and I'm considering not getting it's not like, it wasn't like room service, but I was just gonna get some takeaway delivered from the cafe they have downstairs. But I'm thinking maybe I'll just like go to Macca's, and then that way I can sleep in a bit more. Because I was also reading some stuff like online. Some people say it's unavailable or something like that. I don't know. I mean, I could just call and see. But honestly, I'm so tired right now. I think I'm gonna just like sleep a little bit more and then see how I feel. Like, maybe I'll feel like just, even if I just go down there with my bags and just eat there. I don't know. We'll see. I'm aiming to be, well, I have to be checked out by 11. It's about 9:15 now. And I aim to be home by midday. And then that way I can, yeah, chill. Because I gotta like do a lot of things for tonight. I have a busy weekend ahead. So, yeah, I'm so tired. Hello, so I have finished packing. It's nice to have a camera where I can see my face. And I just wanted to check in and see, let you guys know exactly how I feel about the weekend and stuff. I'm not home yet, but I guess I'll just end the vlog here anyway, unless something drastic happens. So I'm probably going to get Macca's after this. Decided not to like go out and dine again myself. It's pretty exhausting and I don't know what's open right now. And I'm kind of craving Macca's as well. So, I mean, when am I not? But yeah, I'm probably going to get home by 11:30, half an hour before I wanted to, initially. Next time, hopefully I can get room service because that's something that I've always wanted to do. I think I've done it a few times in my life with my family, but generally my parents like think it's a waste of money. So I'm doing a very much like a family thing that I do all the time, which is like going to Macca's for breakfast. So my thoughts on this past day, it's been pretty much 24 hours since I was last dropped off, since I was dropped off to Strathfield Station. And have I learnt a lot about myself? Maybe not about myself, but maybe being able to like slow down for a little bit, even though it was just a short amount of time, and also being able to see what being alone feels like. At times it was very uncomfortable, it was very awkward, and I felt like for example, I didn't want to look at my phone when I was dining alone, but I felt like if I did look around and observe things, then people would think I'm this creepy, lonely person who was staring at them. So I didn't want to make people feel uncomfortable, but then at the same time, I also didn't want to look at my phone. So I tried to do a little bit of both, but yeah, I guess everything is kind of more like, you feel a bit more like outgoing and gung-ho when you're with your friends or with family, which was pretty interesting. And I had such a good sleep as well. I didn't expect myself to, because I have had some bad experiences in hotels, and so it was a part that I didn't mention before, but I was a bit nervous about. But I think I was just so tired that I didn't even have time to really be scared of anything. And yeah, apparently one of the reasons why hotels are really expensive is because they spend a lot on like the bedding. So I heard that like mattresses are usually really good. So maybe it was that, because it did feel like pretty good, pretty solid. Not like the softest ever, but not the hardest. It was really fun. I am pretty tempted to do it again. Maybe not like often, but sometime in my life again, sure, I'll do that. And hopefully upgrade as I go, because Ibis is like the cheapest one I found. I did notice a few things about being a girl who's alone. I was wearing something pretty tight yesterday and I forgot to put anything underneath. So I'm pretty sure a lot of guys were staring at my boobs, and some people went up to me randomly, like people were playing pranks and stuff, and I just have to like look down and ignore them. And I was trying to observe things as I was walking and like trying to take everything in. But then I also didn't want to look guys in the eye. If you're a girl, you will know what I'm talking about, where you kind of just have this instinct, or maybe you've even been told in your life, just to not look anyone in the eye, because it could actually aggravate people, and it's actually how things like king hits have happened. So I never look at strangers in the eye. And so a lot of the time I'm walking and I'm looking down, and this is a little bit of a random spiel I just thought of, but I noticed this in the past year or so, that I am not very good at eye contact especially when I'm walking with someone. And I think it's because I'm so used to not looking people in the eye when I walk, because I'm so scared of my own safety. So yeah, I'm trying to improve on that when it comes to people I actually know. But when I'm like by myself, I'm not gonna look at strangers. And yeah, I think like everything else in terms of like doing the activities was pretty much as I expected. Unfortunately, I couldn't find much in the shops. Zara did a renovation and it looks so good, so I did buy a dress on that. But other than that, I didn't really find anything I liked, and I wasn't really in the mood because so around the 2 p.m. mark, which is when you guys saw me in the Westfield, I started to feel like very, very lonely, and because my partner was in the building next door, I was so tempted to meet him. And it was raining as well, and I'm very affected by the weather. I think, now that I'm saying this, I think I've already said it. But yeah, I just felt like not giving up, but definitely giving in to seeing my partner. And I pulled through and I didn't do it. And yeah, on the way here, I was very, very anxious. I could barely even move. I was so tense. And now, I would say still on edge because I'm still alone. I still can't rely on someone else. But I'm definitely more comforted knowing that I can do things myself and I can go out and spend a day by myself. And I think that's the important lesson that I wanted to learn anyway. So yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd say this trip was about an 8. Minus 2 points because number 1, I was alone. And number 2, because it was uncomfortable. It was definitely an uncomfortable experience, but I enjoyed myself in the end. I think this was a good idea and I don't regret doing it. So I'm gonna go home now and wash my hair, do a bunch of errands, check emails, and go back to normal life, which I don't really want to do, but you gotta do it. So thank you for coming along with this vlog for me. I'm not a big poster when it comes to live stories and showing exactly what I'm doing, so this is really the only place that I'm going to be documenting my trip. And to the 8 subscribers and other randoms from my spam account who might be watching this, thank you for just gaining a bit of insight into my thoughts and into how I have spent my day. I hope that I take the experiences that I've had with me and that I don't just go back to always going out with people, but maybe be more content going out alone now. And especially now that I can drive, I do want to do little things like late night drives by myself and just not be afraid to do that. So I think it only goes up from here in terms of doing things by myself and feeling bravely independent enough to do so. Bye.